All right, welcome to Brunch with Besties podcast.
Hey.
I am Sherry Renee.
And I'm Chanel.
And our mission is to heal and help others as we heal and help ourselves through purpose-driven conversations.
All right.
Yeah, so today we're going to wrap up how to get the guy.
Yes, we're going to finish it. But it was a lot of interesting conversations and topics that came out of this, so it was great.
Lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, we're going to start like we always do with a toast.
All right.
So who are you toasting to?
I think I'm going to give my toast because it just came across my timeline, but I'm going to give my toast to Social X. They're turning 6, so
yes,
a lot of dope events. They've been doing a lot of great things in Milwaukee for young professionals. So yeah, shout out to you, Social X. Happy birthday.
Yes, y'all getting old.
Yeah, see, it's like, wow, I remember our first Social X event.
I know.
It feels like forever ago too.
But was that 6 years ago?
It had to have been.
I guess so.
It's 2018. No, listen, I don't remember. I know the first Vanity Fair we went to was 2014.
Okay, so maybe we came in year 2?
Yeah, we did.
But I remember being at the thing when they turned 2.
Listen, I don't remember. But I remember that Vanity Fair, and I was just like, wow, seemed like forever ago.
Yeah, so Social X is
it's a group. Well, it is a collective of young professionals in Milwaukee that want to build on that young professional scene. So they host a number of events like mixers, and they partner with Black Lens. Now they have Fear, so Forget Everything and Run. So they do that every week. And it's just been a good look for the city, I feel like, giving us young professionals something cool to do.
Trying to retain Black talent here in Milwaukee.
For sure. So shout out to them.
Yes. All right. My toast goes to Rebecca. If you guys caught our last episode, we had a person call in and share their dating experience. It wasn't that great, so she was anonymous and she went by the name quote unquote Rebecca.
Yep.
Becky, if you nasty. I'm just playing. Miss Becky, if you nasty.
There you go.
No, but so quick follow up.
Okay.
So I think where we left off is that she found out that the guy was cheating, right? And he had a whole girlfriend, and they bought a whole house, and they had been together for a whole 2 years.
And they was on a whole vacation. Yeah, so all of that.
And so Rebecca slid into the girl's DM and sent her photos and commentary on what had taken place.
Okay, so she sent her some receipts.
Yes. And so at first the girl didn't really respond to them.
Okay.
So maybe she didn't have reception. I don't know, because she's in a different country right now. But she called her via Facebook and was like, wait a minute, hold on. What had happened?
Oh, she called.
Yes. And so then, she gave her the rundown, and the girl was just like, all right, thanks. Click. Then she called back and was like, she said something to the extent of, well, if you slept with him in June or July, why are you telling me about this now? And stuff like that. So I guess she ended up calling her again, and they kind of rehashed the same conversation. And that she said that the girl was just like, all right, thanks.
Right.
And now the girl blocked her. So I don't know.
But okay, go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But quick update on Rebecca.
How's
Rebecca has done a lot of self-reflection.
Good.
And she decided to. So when we did our letter to her heart, we both said you need to take some time and really figure out what's missing.
Oh, sure.
And get some help with that. So she did. She had her first therapy session the other day.
Awesome. Wow.
Surprisingly, though, so I said oh, were you looking for a Black therapist? And she said, no, I want a white man. I want somebody completely objective.
Okay.
She felt like a Black therapist could potentially, not to say that it's true, but this is her opinion, right? That a Black therapist could potentially make everything either about race or put whatever her issues were on her. So she was like, no, I just want a white man.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay. Cool.
Well, shout out to Rebecca. I'm very glad to hear that. That's awesome.
And she did say that you reached out to her.
I did.
And she was like, oh, Chanel, her encouraging, but I just love Chanel.
Well,
and I was like, Chanel's my friend.
First of all.
No. So Chanel, you have to change your number.
No. No, I had to because I was just like, no, I need you to know. You are a queen. But no, I'm glad to hear that though. That's what's up. And therapy, we all need that. And what better way to take those action steps to take care of you than to really put your words into action and be like, okay, I really am gonna fix myself.
So I think what happened is that she realized that this was just the way that it manifested, but there's really an internal issue going on.
It's right?
It's there so it showed up like this today, but there's some other things that I need to take care of.
Oh, sure. So. Absolutely. Well, yay. Look, yes.
We just saving lives.
I know, right? Watch out, Oprah.
Right.
We are out here.
We got people reading.
Listen, we just changing the world,
Getting people in therapy.
I love this. That's what's up. That's what we do. Healing and helping others.
As we heal and help ourselves.
For sure.
Yes.
But back to the girl, like, why did you call me back asking me these questions and you gonna still be with this nigga? Like, why are you doing
So that's
this?
what I think is happening. I think that the girl fully intends to continue.
She's not going nowhere.
But I think that, again, so if you flip on the other side of the coin, I think that him cheating is the way that whatever issues they're having in a relationship are manifesting.
Sure.
And that if this wasn't the first time, it sure as heck ain't gonna be the last time. So, and that's her right? So Rebecca informed her and gave her all the information. What she does with it is her business.
Right. It's on her. And we can tell from that conversation that she not going nowhere.
Yeah, so. Probably not.
Yeah, don't let that be you, y'all.
And then I think that Rebecca finally reached a certain point because she kept saying like, well, how come I can't get the guy? And I said, he's not a good guy. You just ruined this whole girl's life. She packed up all her stuff, moved all the way to across the globe. She literally moved across the globe. Probably saved up money, invested in this house with this guy. She's on vacation with him, and she has to get messages basically to hear that he's not only been cheating but having unprotected sex with some random chick. You don't want to be her.
Yeah, at all.
That is not what. That's what you want.
Yeah, no,
that is not what you want.
It sure ain't. You can have all that. You can have it. You can have it. You don't want it. And that's why the saying is true. Like, we all threw our problems in a pile. You definitely gonna pick yours back up.
Yeah. Mine, please.
Yes.
Thanks.
Real quick. Right. Like, this what y'all got?
No thanks.
No, not it. So,
I never heard that saying. I like that. If we all threw our problems in the pile,
you gonna pick yours right back up. Because I'm gonna be like, this what y'all dealing with. So yeah. But no, happy. That was a happy ending. I'm very glad.
And so she said, she was like, yep. So make sure you give him my update. And then she was like, and then when I find me a man, I'm gonna come back on the show.
Hey, we gonna be ready for her.
So now she thinks her whole show revolves around her, but whatever. Hey, it is. What it is.
Well, that's what happens when you come on Oprah. Or Brunch with Besties. Same difference.
Right, same difference.
We're synonymous now.
Until Oprah hears it, she's gonna be like, don't you ever compare yourself.
Right. She'll like cease and desist.
Right.
Don't do that to us, Auntie O, for real.
You was never at Harpo.
Oh, the real. We love you for real.
Right.
Lord.
So let's break bread, girl. What's going on?
It's Friday.
Won't he do it? Look at the Lord.
Listen, this week was a long
week.
I'm just like, on Wednesday, I'm like, bro, it's Wednesday.
Oh my God.
Like,
on Monday, Wednesday? I was like, how come it's not Wednesday?
Girl, no, it was Wednesday for like every day this week was Wednesday. And I was just like, we can't get past Wednesday. But I'm very glad it's Friday. Definitely about to chill this weekend. I don't think I have much of anything. But now I'm ready to get back. Our Zeta year just started back, so I'm ready to be financial. I'm ready to be active. There's pieces that comes along with that, but now I'm really geeked because my Zeta mentor is now the Wisconsin State Director, which is really dope, and she wants me to be her executive assistant. So I was like, that's really cool.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm like, look at me getting my Zeta stuff together, but
being
now
a
I'm really
finer
excited.
woman and whatnot.
I know. So now I'm like, I can't let her down. So I really gotta get my Zeta stuff together.
You're a high value woman. Of course she wants you to be her executive assistant.
Come on, pour into me, sis. But now I'm really geeked about it. I was just like, you choose me. Like, what? But I'm thankful and I'm ready to work for Zeta. So
okay. They work.
Listen. It's gonna be a lot of work. So if y'all see me, no, I'm just kidding. I'll always be here for Brunch with Besties. But no, I'm ready on the road. You say, you'll be here. But I'm ready. I'm excited. So that's all that's new with me.
Man.
What's going on?
girl, what's not going on? Okay, I'm tired.
Yeah, girl.
MF and tired.
MF and tired, not tired.
Okay.
Tired.
I'm so glad it's Friday. Oh my
Girl.
God. But so last night, so Jammin' 98.3 had their old school mix party.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And so first of all, I'm old.
Oh yeah,
That's
you went out
number
on a
one.
Thursday
On a
again?
Thursday night. I know, right?
Did you learn from
Girl, nah.
Urban Bike Night?
Right. I'm still trying to recover from Urban Bike Night, and I went to that event, and it was a great event.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Now, number one, so it was an old school mix party, so there was a lot of older people know how to have fun.
They do. Without
Okay.
the drama.
Without
They
the
do.
drama. It
They
was
do.
packed in there. When I tell you that they had a good time,
Aw.
they had a great time.
Where was it?
Okay, it was at Potawatomi.
Ooh, nice.
And yes, and so these old women put all us young women to shame. They was out there on that dance floor. So, we tried to come out and do the line dance. So we like, my squat game ain't that tight. My legs hurt. So, I like to join in the middle of the song so that you can finish it.
Because it'd be about 12 minutes.
But no, these men, these women. So it was a lot of men in there with perms. And I was like, whoa.
Wait a minute.
When I say old men. So first of all, they brought out their Adidas.
They was
Everything. They
ready.
jumpsuits.
Old school.
Okay, they was old school.
So they were dressed the part.
They was dressed the part.
So you had to really go in on this party.
They was getting it in.
Okay.
They was doing all the old dances. They was on the ground. They did a Soul Train line.
Oh,
like
wow.
they was in there getting it. They got their best life.
Hey,
and then they played Living My Best Life.
Hey,
yes.
and it was lit
It
on
was
a
lit
Thursday.
On a Thursday. Yeah,
not
I don't know
mad.
what these people do for a living. Maybe they're retired. I don't know.
Could have been. Or they was just like, yeah, I'm calling in. Like, I ain't going tomorrow.
But I was like, their whole body gonna hurt tomorrow because they was putting in work on that dance floor. Okay,
Ooh, they was getting their best life. I
was sore just looking at them.
I ain't mad. I'm not mad.
So yeah, that my niece thinks she coming over this weekend, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Let the baby come.
It sounded like a good idea. You know how things sound like a good idea,
Yeah.
but then when it comes down to it, you're
Yeah.
like, oh no,
Listen,
I just want to sleep.
After 30, that's all the plans.
Right.
Like that. Even recording tonight, like right now, I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want to be in the bed. Oh my God.
Yes.
But hey, here we are.
Here we are. So yeah, and then we went to on Tuesday. It was National Voter Registration Day.
Yeah.
So the Deltas had an event. So what we did, so basically partnering with all with the MPHC, with Milwaukee Urban League, and with others.
Yeah.
They basically, we got a chance to hear from the people that were running.
Oh, nice.
So we got to hear their platforms, what they stood for, ask questions, etc. So
Very cool.
That was pretty dope.
So all of the nominees, I know Tony Evers and like Mandela are there.
Yep, everybody didn't
But
show
like,
up.
oh.
Everybody didn't show up. But the ones that did, shouts out to them.
Right.
Shouts out to them for coming. They extended the invitation to everybody.
Okay.
But obviously some people don't show up, and some people don't show up because they're not running against anyone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But there were some people that did show up that weren't running because they were like, no, you still need to know what my platform is. And I still need to hear from you because I represent you. So I want to know what you need,
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was a great event as well.
Awesome.
But hanging out late on all of these nights throughout the week, I'm tired.
Listen, you just be out here now. I ain't
Just
mad.
out here.
Be out
So,
here
yes.
then. There we go.
Alrighty, now let's go into the tip. We are reading Get the Guy by Matthew Hussey. Try our free 30-day Audible trial, www.audiotrial.com/BWB. BWB is in Brunch with Besties.
Yeah, we need to be thinking about our next book. I know Auntie Michelle Obama book coming out soon. So
actually, Eminem had a couple recommendations. They were dating books. So yeah, so we'll have to talk about some options and see which ones we want to go with.
For sure, yeah.
So yeah, because some of them that she mentioned, I had kind of heard about, but I hadn't read them yet. So I'm like, oh, that might be good.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome.
So we shall see.
Yay.
So it's that time.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. So I feel like some of this we kind of covered throughout talking with Rebecca. So that's why it was so great to have her on. But nonetheless, one of the things that he talks about kind of later in the book is like the formula for attraction.
Okay.
So visual chemistry plus perceived challenge plus perceived value plus connection. And I'm like, interesting.
That when he was talking about that, it kind of reminded me of Pastor Torre, and we had touched on some episodes prior.
Soulmates.
Yeah, the soulmates, and that's what this kind of reminded me of when he was talking about that.
True indeed, because he was talking about how you can have chemistry with anybody.
With anybody, absolutely. And I was just like, oh, okay, so this is familiar to me. So yeah.
So one of the things that he said is that, you know, we kind of talked about that objective beauty, right? So there's like these fake standards of beauty. But then sometimes you see people and it's not necessarily the standard, but you're like, oh, yeah, it's still appealing to the eye.
For sure.
So that's why we can't get caught up in like, oh, I got to look like this. Or I got like, you can still be fine.
True. And people could get ugly too. Because once they open their mouth, and you do have that conversation with them, it's just like, yeah, you not cute no more, bro. Because you're dumb, clearly.
Definitely. And then also, you know, the thing that I really loved is when he mentioned perceived value. Because a lot of times we sell ourselves short.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that in the case of Rebecca, that's kind of what happened, right? Like, she really wanted a man. Right. But then she ended up kind of selling herself short. So then he started to view her in that way. So has there ever been a time where you met a guy, thought that he had some sort of high value, and then later you were like,
Yeah, I feel like we did a whole episode when we first started to talk about feeling unworthy. Like, there were plenty of guys where I was just like, I just held them to this high, like, pedestal.
So what happened? Like, what made their perceived value change?
Probably they did something where I was just like, I don't like him. Like, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Like, one guy, for instance, like, he just was like corny, and I was just like, nope. I don't like you no more.
What did he do? So, he was just corny.
Just trying to be funny, and then it's not really funny, and it's just like, or like listening to like Nicki Minaj or stuff that I'm like, that's weird. Like, why are you doing that? No, I'm going to take you off this pedestal. But I don't. So, hey, to me, in my mind, now you're not this like prized possession anymore because you did something that I didn't. I don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, perception, paradigm shift, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it can happen quick. And that's the thing. Like, you shouldn't put anybody on these pedestals until you, well, not even when you know them, because we all have faults. We all have flaws. So nobody is perfect. But I still feel like you should get to know people before you make this assumption. And I do that all the time. Like, I build these fantasies and these stories in my head about what I think a person should be. But then when I really get to know that person, it's like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So you are nothing like I thought you were.
And so that's what I feel like happened with Rebecca. Right?
Oh,
that she put him on this pedestal. And then I was like, bro, he a cheater.
Right.
Like, he ruined this girl's whole life.
And he well, in hindsight, and I mean, we're on the outside looking in, but in that situation, like, he didn't show her anything other than what he was from jump, I feel like. But when we really feel somebody, like, we're so blinded to that stuff.
And we make all these excuses.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We do.
Because she kept saying, like, yeah, but he felt like she was worthy enough to be the main chick. And I'm like, bro, he ruined her life.
Absolutely.
Like, she packed up, moved all her stuff. You rather be her, you rather be you. Because you get to walk away.
Right. You get to walk away and just you didn't move away, you didn't pack up, you didn't spend money, none of that. Like, you're good. You gotta.
But this girl's whole world is about to come,
and she has to live with that. Yep, and she has to live with that. So no, and I mean, I've dealt with guys too where it was just like, I thought that they were so like amazing and tight, and then when I got to know them, it was just like, like, I was blinded by who I wanted them to be, but they showed me their red flags right away, but I was like ignoring it. So,
you know what? The same thing happened to me a few times. So there was one time when I was in college, I was dating this guy, and he had broke up with, so he was engaged, and then they broke up, and then we ended up dating or whatever. And he was just like, he kept saying like, oh, it just feels so good to, like, you know, be on my own and have my own house and da 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 and all this other stuff. Mind you, I'm in college. I'm like 21 or something stupid. And he was in school. Like, so that's what I knew. But then once we started dating, I started to get to know him, and I'm like, wait a minute, you do have your quote unquote own house, but you share it with 4 other people. That's not the same,
right? Like, sir,
you got roommates,
right?
Shouts out to everybody with roommates.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
however,
you were my roommate.
We were,
right?
You know,
but not at that point, because at that point I'm like, well, I have my own. You know, don't give me nothing fancy, but mine.
We was at the trap house,
right? The trap house.
Hey, we was at the trap house. I had a whole kid at this point, so
right, sure indeed. And then like he was in school, but it was like a technical school.
Oh.
And then he had like quit. And I was like, that's not you, but you not in school if you don't go.
Right. This is fake, bro.
Yeah.
Like, who are you fronting for, yourself or
and
for me?
then like the job that he had, the dream, the long-term goal that he had, he was like a number of months away from reaching. And I was like, so that's the end goal? And it was just like to be manager at his current job. And I was just like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. You know?
But you're not
so from afar,
big.
because I just was like, oh, he has his own place, he's in school, he's so cute, da 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 da. But then like the more that I got to know him, I was like, you pretty basic.
Yeah.
You know?
Upon further inspection.
Yeah, upon further review.
You
ain't that tight.
Right, at all.
Right. And then there was this other guy who I just thought was so amazing from afar. Right. He went to a great school, had an amazing job, made a lot of money, achieved a lot of unique achievements.
Yeah, for somebody his age.
For somebody his age.
For sure.
So I was like, oh my goodness. Like, why would he even want to talk to somebody like me?
Yeah.
Right?
Girl.
Then when I realized that he was just a horrible human being in life, I was just like, you know, like now, because remember we saw him somewhere. He tried to speak to me. I won't even like acknowledge his presence because I don't feel like it's worth my time. That's how really horrible of a human being he is.
And he was like super foul. Like after that, like I think
after that, like he ain't cute no more.
Like we were just like
I felt like I should report him to all the boards he serves on. Like he just ain't a good person. Like may he rot in hell. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Piss on his grave.
I'm
really just go in
I'm
on
just
him?
playing.
No.
Oh my
but
God.
in real life, though, he was just like, ugh.
But it taught me a valuable lesson, right? That you don't put people on pedestals.
Nobody, don't do it. So,
no.
I mean, we're human. We all have flaws and faults. And yeah, so, but take those
So y'all don't put
off.
us on pedestals either.
Oh, please don't. Because if y'all saw me right now. If y'all saw me right now,
y'all, I'm gonna take a picture of her and post it so y'all can see.
I'm in the studio, you know. We get comfortable here. Dude understand. So, you know, he don't judge me.
Dude just put up a sign that said no shirt, no shoes, no service. Okay,
like get yourself together when you come in the studio.
No do-rags,
none of that.
No sweatpants,
none of that. You got to be cute. I'm glad we ain't recording. It ain't no camera. So radio life is great.
Radio life is great. That's funny. One of the other things that he talks about is that attraction is emotional, not logical.
Oh, this totally goes back to everything we just said.
Yes. And how you want to be considered beautiful for the right reasons. So not because you fit into some stereotype.
Yeah.
So not because you have blonde hair and blue eyes, right? But because you're an interesting person.
Yeah. Which is crazy now because, you know, I feel like all women want to look the same now at this point. So they all want to have like the tiny waist, the big hips, the darker skin now. Like that's popping. Like everybody want to have full lips. So we all, not we, because I don't really care, but society is really trying to push everybody to kind of look the same. So when you think about that, it's just like, well, how can I be beautiful if I look like everybody else? Like what sets me apart? And I think me as a person, I think you too, like all of us, our whole circle, like we're so like comfortable with who we are in our skin that we don't really conform to what everybody else is doing. It's just like, okay, well, we are who we are. Like,
yep, take it, leave it,
hey,
whatever.
It's cool. So yeah, it's crazy that, and if you read this book, like that's what men are really looking for, but they're not. It's not clicking, so that's why some of y'all single, because you're trying to look like everybody else.
But it's crazy because, because he's looking for you and you're not there.
Exactly.
Right? But it's so amazing too because I was watching about K. Michelle and you know her botched surgeries and all of that, And it's like, man, it's so crazy how people want to look like this so bad. And it's like, but like when I was growing up, it wasn't really in style, but I was just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Like,
because you had what you had.
This is your body.
Right.
It just is what it is. So you just with it or you not. But yeah, like there's consequences for that.
Sure is.
And more now they're finding that these breast implants and stuff causing different cancers, causing all type of health related issues.
It's ridiculous. It really is. And it's just like, and for what? For a man to look at you or to compete with the next female? Because that's really what it's boiled down to. What it is. Like, it's not even the attention of a man anymore. It's to compete.
Right, because he's still looking.
Right. He gonna look. That's who they are by nature. They're going to look. But now you competing with the next woman, and that's not what we want to do. So, it's just crazy. So, I'm not with all that. I remember when we were younger, like, I was skinny, like super skinny, and I would pray, like, I wish I was thick, and then here it come, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Take it away, Lord.
Take it away, Lord.
This is not what I wanted at all.
That is funny.
Girl.
One of the other things that he mentioned, and we mentioned this with Rebecca, was that he has to earn your attention. And so he was at this point he was talking about sex and how that's something that has to be earned, and how a lot of times what'll happen is women, we want to seal the deal, and I gotta show him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, so now you're fun.
Right. But what else? Right. I got what I cool. Right. Yeah. That's cool. Like,
but
I got
the challenge is now gone, and he knows when he hasn't earned it.
Yep.
So men know when they haven't earned it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I thought that was interesting. And I think that that's really what happened with Rebecca.
Yeah, especially when you want the guy so bad. Like, you want that relationship so bad where that can set it apart. But I mean, to be honest, like, we all grown and we have needs too. Like, women have needs just like men have. Like, I want it too, just as bad as you want it. But when you want that relationship more, then you have to be like, okay, I need to save that,
exactly,
so that I can really get what I want.
Yes, exactly. That's the truth. And two, you know, he didn't say this, but I think we talked about it before when Pastor David Burris was on here. A lot of times women settle for sex because they really just want attention and affection.
Oh yeah.
And so they'll settle for the sex just because they know that during that act they can get some attention and affection.
Ooh, child, I've definitely been there. Like, I want the time but then as soon as the sex is over, it's just like, all right, what you finna do? Like,
yeah.
No, sir, that's not what I want. So
he also talks about how some women play hard to get and how that's a tactic.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of about like creating scarcity so that he'll commit. But then
men don't really understand that. Like, they don't.
But so what he said is that it's like, you know, putting a string in front of a cat. So the cat will chase, but then when he get the string, he'll catch it, then play with it a little bit, and then he'll never touch it again. Because now I got what I wanted. Because then it becomes more about
the chase,
and not about you.
Yep. Yeah. So
do you think that you've ever experienced that where it was more about the chase?
No, I've never. That's not me. Like, I've never played hard to get. I was either like the aggressor, like, I'm gonna tell you this, I'm what you need to have, or I need it in my life. That was me. Like, hey, I'm what you need. But then I got away from that because that doesn't get you anywhere. But then I was just like, I don't care. Like, I kind of made myself invisible. Like, okay, now I'm gonna step back. Like, I don't care. But I've never played hard to get. No, never did.
I think that I have always played hard to get, but I don't think I was playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you intentionally, like, that's not your idea.
Like, I just be like, I'm doing this other thing.
Yeah,
I think I just never really gave guys like priority, you know. So
hey,
I don't know. I think that there have been times where I have, like, with my first boyfriend, like, after the fact, like, oh, we've been dating and doing this whole thing for a year. Okay, now I'll give you priority.
Hey,
but then that's when everything went all bad. So I don't know, child.
Yeah. See, and then when that's your experience, it's hard to, like, step into something new. Because I've definitely, like, even now as I'm dating exclusively, like, I find myself being like, well, this dude did this to me, you're gonna do it too. Like, I'm really oh no. So I have to check myself or heal. Like, we'll have a conversation like, dude, that's not me, so chill.
I do remember, I don't know if it was last year, but I have had older men say to me, so this one guy, I was sitting on the board of this organization, and he was like, I don't know what we were talking about, but he randomly said, like, yeah, and if you ever slow down so a man can catch you. And I was thinking, like, what?
Right.
Keep up. Like, I'm not about to slow down.
Slow? That's like saying, like, dumb yourself down. Like, I don't need to stop what I'm doing.
Yes, like I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
If he want to be with me, like, he going to make it happen. Like, it's not going to be hey, I'm trying to get you. Like, wait. Right. Nah, he going to make it work. So.
Make it work. Make it work. So, yes. So the whole, if that's the tactic, playing hard to get, then as soon as the chase is done, then so's the relationship.
It sure is, because men are funny that way. Like, they are very, like, simple minded. And I don't mean, it's not a diss to guys, but they really are, like, simple when you think about it. And on the reverse side, I feel like women are very simple too, but we just make stuff complicated as opposite sexes.
Whoa.
We do.
I don't make stuff complicated.
We do. We both do. Men and women make it complicated when it's it's simple, but we just make it too hard for ourselves. We get in our own ways. So I think that's true when it comes to dating. And here's what I mean. Like, for me, like, I overthink everything. Like, I'm trying to map out everything and kind of place where everything should be and how it should happen, when I should just stop and let it go. And I think there are some guys who are, like, so, like, either they're too aggressive or then they're not aggressive enough, because then they're trying to figure out what you want. And it's just like, just don't be so overcomplicated. Like, I feel like when it comes to love, like, that's what we do. We make it complicated, because we can easily, like, love our parents, we love our families, but I feel like when it comes to the opposite sex love, we make it hard. There's so many factors that come into it.
True indeed. But do you think so? One of the things that Matthew Hussey says is that when we operate that way, it's because we're operating from a place of lack and not abundance. So when we see a hint of love or what we think could be love, or a new guy or whatever, we want everything to be perfect, and I gotta be who he wants me to be, because we want to get picked or be chosen so bad. But if we do what love really is, which is the 16 things, right? Look, patient, kind, forgiving, all that other stuff. If we just be that and don't be so afraid of what if it doesn't work out. Like, if it doesn't work out, then I'll meet another guy.
True.
Right.
And that's we make it complicated.
Yeah.
Like, we need to just really look at the simple. What is what we're looking for, which is love, and just focus on that. But it's so many outside factors, like, oh, well, he fine too. Like, all these fine people. So now I got free will. So now I'm gonna stay here with you.
He fine.
Hey,
he fine.
Because it's all these fine options. Hey, I don't need the one.
What a pickle that I've gotten myself in here. Stay tuned to see how will she get out of this one. Like, what?
It's just so many.
I mean, if anything, that's a good problem to have.
Hey, it is,
because one of them might be married.
Hey, that is true.
And one of them might be a commitment phobe, so it don't matter if you fine.
That is very true. All
that is so funny. You said, well, he fine. And he fine.
So many options. And then it's just like, oh, it's just so many factors. We've been hurt before, so now we have all these barriers. Like, how do I overcome this? Baggage. Yeah, it's just a lot.
Insecurities.
Speaking of that, insecurities. We'll talk about that later. Or you want to talk about it now? I was like, you said it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So,
you watched it?
Yes.
Okay.
What episode is this?
That's 7. So
episode 7. What was it called?
Obsessed Like.
Yes. That is probably my favorite.
I think
insecure episode.
I would say that's my absolute favorite.
When I tell you that I lauged, I screamed. Yes. It was everything.
So did I. Was just
because it's so true. She took it one step further, but I think it was everything. So if you guys have not seen that episode, basically, Issa has not heard from her new bae. What's his name?
Nathan.
Yeah. He went like ghost, basically.
Super ghost.
It's been like 7 whole days. Not a word.
Hey. Come on, Tony. 7 whole nights. Yes.
Man.
But yeah, no, he's gone. He out the picture. I don't know where he is.
I watched that episode like 3 times. Because it was
funny.
so funny to me. But when she was like, I'm not pressed. I'm not pressed. I ain't pressed. I was like, all right, Issa.
And then she's trying to like busy herself, but then she's still being pressed. And I so related with this whole episode.
So
like,
me and Rebecca, we have this whole saying where we be like, when the guys start acting crazy, we be like, I'm just gonna focus on school.
Listen, get myself together.
Right. And that's what she was doing. She's like, I'm just gonna work on this project and blah blah blah. But she didn't work on the project
at all. She didn't. Like none of the episodes she worked on that project.
When when she was waiting on Nathan to text her and her mom hit her with the fruit of the spirit,
she was like, I don't care about no fruit.
I was like, that was so funny because that is the truth.
But even when her phone like buzz in the shower, like, oh, you want to talk to me when I'm in the shower?
you nasty. And it was the fruit of the spirit from her mom. You can always count on your mama to send you a scripture.
Yes, right on time.
Right. I was
Mamas
like, that's funny.
Mamas know.
They know.
She know. And then she took to Instagram. That is so Chanel. That is absolutely something that I would have done.
He forgot I was cute.
That is so something I would have done.
So she posted that picture of herself and everybody liked and commented, but not him.
All her girlfriends. Always your friends will gas you and you need that gas. But the person that you want to see this picture is not liking it.
Then she looks at his Instagram.
Go, Issa.
And she was like, he's really not that cute when you think about it. And I was like, girl, he is fine. Like,
about his haircuts or barber wear.
But that's what we do. We start shading these guys, trying to remove the pedestal. Like, he really ain't that tight.
Oh my God, this episode is so real. That was funny.
That was hilarious. She's like, oh, so now you like LA? Because he was posting pictures of LA. Right. Then when she saw the picture, it was a girl kissing him on the cheek. She was like, who the F is this bitch? And it's just like, oh, his mom look young for 50. She's cute.
She went off on the deep end.
Right.
I've been there. So she went extreme, but some of that stuff was like, I've done that before.
Man.
I've done the picture. I've done like trying to occupy myself, air quotes. And I'm really like still thinking like, why is this person ain't text me?
And I'm following you there. I've done all of that as well. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I really post though, because I'm just not a poster.
You're not a poster.
But I'll definitely go look at theirs and be like, who is she? Oh wait, your cousin. Oh God, is she?
Right.
Oh y'all do look alike.
Right.
Okay, cool.
That's a cute picture.
Yeah, before she was an ugly bee, now she cute. Yeah.
But no, I've definitely posted on Instagram like, oh, he gonna see this selfie. It's fly.
Yes,
done that. I have. So eventually, like, she gets Molly. Molly is so ride or die. So reminds me of my friends. Like, y'all be down for whatever. Like, hey, it's crazy, but let's do it.
Yeah. And that's me. I'm like, I just want to point out a few things. A, this is crazy AF. B, this is dumb. C, it ain't gonna work. D, what time you want me to be there?
However, like, I'm with you.
What time we going? Okay.
I got you back.
Right.
So she gets Molly in the mix, and Molly is dealing with her own stuff too. I'm waiting for the last episode to really like scope out what's Molly's
with Molly now because Molly is doing a crab in a barrel mentality now.
She really is.
She has this whole thing that she made up where she has to compete with her coworkers, and nobody ever said that she did.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she's doing that.
Well, what I took from it is because before she was working at like an all white firm. So it wasn't no black people. So you had to have that, okay, I have to be the top because I'm around all of these white men. Like, I have to
But she specifically wanted to go to a black firm, and now so that she didn't have to do it. But now she don't.
You have to learn that. Now you're in a whole different environment around your people. Like, you don't have to leave that mentality where it was, and now you have to learn this firm. But I don't know. I think they don't get her in this last episode.
Yeah, like, she's like blackballing herself.
Yes, she really is, which is sad. But she was fierce, honey. That whole episode,
she was.
Everything she had on, I was like, "Come on, Molly! Like, you just out here."
And you're all white.
Yeah,
that reminded me of that episode of Girlfriends where Jo had on her all white pea coat and outfit, and then who was her best friend? Tony had on all black, and they were walking out together. I was like, y'all better get
so
it.
mad. See, now you have me watching it over because I do got my box set of Girlfriends. But no, so we were looking to see what's going on with Molly. But anyway, Molly goes with Issa to the Asian Bay. I don't know his name, but he is fine. They go to his house because that's where Nathan supposedly is residing as well. And they like, yeah, I brought you these cheese rolls.
So that's where I've never done that.
I've rolled up on a house before. I didn't like go in or no. I think I must have texted him and he came out. He was like, why are you here? So maybe it was like that. But y'all, stuff happens and you pull up to people's house.
You know what? I don't even think that I said I never wanted to. I think that I think I have, to a certain degree, like a pride issue. Where it's like, I would, but then you would know how insecure I am, so I can't do it.
Yep.
And I think that my pride is bigger than my insecurity.
Hey, well, thank God.
I mean, that don't mean that the insecurity ain't there.
Hey, true.
What I would do is I would just call you and be like, so do you think he's there?
Listen. And then we be like, let's just go over there. But I can't.
He said, you want me to go? I'm going to go.
I'm going to ride by, see if the light's on. But I've definitely pulled up. I've only did it once, though, surprisingly. So only one person had
I'll
me
take
go
that
there.
back. One time.
Okay, story time.
Go at band camp. I'm just playing. No, one time. Now, this is when we were still in high school.
Oh, Lord,
so I was with Scarlett, and I don't know what we were doing.
And let me tell y'all, Scarlett is a Molly for sure.
She is a Molly.
With anything. Okay, she with it.
She Molly with a Z.
Yeah.
Okay,
she is with
mouths.
She's with it.
Yeah. So, she made me pull up. Like, I was asking her about some dude who like went AWOL. She's like, "What did you call him?" I was like, "I can't call him because then he gonna know that I want to call him."
And he can't know that.
He can't know that. He's supposed to be calling me.
My pride won't let me.
My pride won't let me do it. And then we were like, we must have been like in the area. So then she turned on, and I was like, "What are we doing? Oh my God, what's going on? What are you doing?" So then she pulls in front of the house, and he just happened to be sitting outside.
Oh no!
Yes, and so that's actually how we reconnected, and that's how we started our whole relationship again.
That is hilarious.
And then she would just tell me. So then, obviously we talked, exchanged numbers. Something happened with his phone or whatever. This was back before iPhones and all of that.
This was way back in the day.
This was back in the day, honey. It was T9 text.
Listen, yes, this is Kyocera
phones. But yeah, and then she was like, I remember when we left, she was like, "Yep, and when y'all get married, just make sure you thank me." But then, like, years later, when it was a horrible, terrible, no good relationship,
was like, "Thanks."
Yeah, I was
Scarlett.
like, "Thanks, Scarlett."
It's all your fault.
And she was like, "I was only 18. How was I supposed to know?"
She would listen to me anyway.
Hey, I just took you there. I ain't say be with him, right?
Hey, I was a kid,
right?
What do you expect?
Exactly. I don't even know him. Like, what?
I cannot with Scarlett. He said, "Hey,
barely know you."
I was just playing."
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so that's the one time that I did, but only because she forced me, because I would never do anything like that. I would want to though. I just wouldn't have it in me. I'd be like, nah.
You have all the ideas, but no, I totally did. It was like late at night, and I was just
this
like,
is how wrong Issa was. She showed up looking tacky to the mug. I was
mess.
Like,
yeah, you can see.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can't be looking a mess. Well, I think I might have looked a mess too, because you just be so like mad where you just like, I gotta go right now, and that at least that's where I was. I was like, I need to see who over here, like, what he doing, like, right. I'm mad, like, I don't care, I'm coming over here. And yeah, he showed check me like, you only coming over here to see who I got over here? You damn right. That's why I'm here. Okay.
So where is she?
Right. So what y'all doing?
Show yourself.
Right. So what y'all doing?
If you bad, step out. No,
girl, mad.
And you out there looking a hot mess.
A mess in your pajamas, like you mad, like you can't think clear. Like,
you know what,
Matthew Hussey said, logic goes out the window. It's all emotion.
There was this one time. No.
Oh Lord, what else happened?
Okay, so in Milwaukee, we have adverse weather.
We do.
And it was a cold winter night.
It might have been blizzarding.
And something happened. I don't remember all the specifics, but I know that I had ended up falling asleep and I woke up. So I think me and the guy were supposed to do something or connect or do something. And I had woke up and I was like, and this Negro did not even call me. Well, why didn't he call?
Right.
So
what is he doing?
I got up, warmed up the car. It was the middle of the night. Warmed up the car, cleaned up the car. So
blizzard.
you know, like when you clean off a car, warm it up, like that's like a 20-minute operation.
Oh yeah, in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And then you know that means I also had to be suited and booted to be out there in that adverse weather. So I had to put on whatever I had on. I had to put on something over that. Put on the high boots,
layers. Lord, yeah. Logic goes.
Put on like earmuffs, scarves,
everything,
the whole nine, gloves.
So you was dressed like an abominable snowman.
This was before automatic start and all of that. Like back then, like if you had an automatic start, it's because you had it put on your car. And I was a broke college student, so I didn't have no money for that. So there was no. That means I was out there in the cold, had it warming up as I was cleaning it off. Then I probably had to shovel my way
out. Yeah, because when we lived downtown, it was crazy. It ain't get no love.
Yeah, exactly,
nobody.
no love.
So
yeah, and then of course I just drove by the house, but got too much pride to let you know, so I didn't get out and go in or knock or do any of that. I ain't doing that. I just wanted to see if he was there. Hey, because how come you didn't?
Exactly. I need to see if the light is on. Yes. What you doing? Hey,
Motel 6.
Listen. Okay, so that's where Issa took it too far. Like she actually went in. I didn't go in either.
But she created this whole facade and involved Molly. And Molly was like, yeah, you know, we were in the area and brought you these cheese rolls.
Girl. And then she's like, but what if he in there with another girl? What if they do it? And she was, and that's the beauty of the episode. Like the whole episode is her thoughts.
That's why I loved it. But every now and again she responds to her thoughts.
Yeah, right. In total Issa fashion. But that was dope. Like we've never
and Molly responds to her thoughts too. She's like, you think about going back in there?
We've never seen a sitcom where it did that. Like we actually got to know what the main character was thinking.
The thought process. And I think that's why I loved it, because it was so accurate. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was. But she took it too far when she went in his room and was like going through his stuff. I was like, okay, now.
That was too bold to enter into the house and then to go up the steps.
Like what if
he's like, the bathroom is right here. Because I think that she was so emotionally driven that she was like, I'll talk my way out of whatever situation I find myself in. I just need to know. And I think that we do have those moments where we just need to know.
Yeah. And I think that the conversation of it all was why did she let herself get to that point? But I feel like, he did have a part in it. Like, he made her feel, like, different than she had felt.
How she started to dissect and question everything. It's because you was naked in the pool on the first day.
That was real.
Like, it's because you told me that you wrapped yourself in the mirror.
Yep. That was real. like, she started to question, like, okay, it's me. Like, it was something that I did.
Yes.
But that's facts, and we go through all of that. But I think I would feel some type of way too, because I feel like they had really made a great connection. Like she was being vulnerable with him.
Well, the last conversation that they had, didn't she say like, how do you know when it's real?
Yeah, and he was like, he asked,
and then she said, I feel like this is real, and he said, I feel like this is real too.
Yeah, so it was him. So for him to like disappear like that, like I would probably feel some type of way too. Yeah,
but I think it's because she was operating from a place where she had lost Lawrence, and that was technically like her fault or whatever. So I think that she was like, okay, I'm finally over him. And then she kind of messed things up with old boy who house she was sleeping at. What's his name? Daniel. I don't know nobody's name. Jesus.
Right. Are you really a fan? Like,
I never know people's names.
The show. That's true. So never mind.
I'm just not good at names, but I know who they are.
Right. You do.
I know their heart.
Yeah, you do. But never mind. But you don't be knowing nobody's name, so it's okay. A mess. But no, Daniel. But I feel like with Lawrence, she was being what he needed. Like she was doing everything for him to be what he needed, like his support system, like encouraging him. And then for Daniel, like they were just cool. Like I feel like they forced something that shouldn't have been. Like they should have just been friends, I feel like.
The line.
Yeah, they crossed the line. But Nathan comes in and he's pouring into her. So now it's like, wow, you care about me? Like you letting me be
felt like
me?
He was pouring into her?
Yeah. Like he was very encouraging. Like when she had that dumb idea, well, it's not dumb, maybe she'll do it, but the idea to have her black Coachella, he was like, yeah, that's dope. Like you can do that. And then when she was rapping, he was like at Coachella when she was rapping and he like finishes, she was like, oh, I said this out loud.
Yeah,
like,
that's funny.
And he finishes, so he's like really pouring into who she is. Okay. And I feel like she hasn't had that in a guy. And then she went through her whole phase and she didn't care about none of those dudes. So, but now it's really a guy who's like, in tune to her, and she's like the focus. She can kind of be taken care of in a sense.
I don't know. I don't really look. I don't know. Maybe my version of like pouring into somebody is different, but I just thought that he was like going along with whatever she said. Like, okay, yeah, you can do that. That's cool. You know, whatever. But I don't know. I think that they were very spontaneous and very in the moment with everything. So I think that she let her guards down and she slipped up and rapped out loud because she was just comfortable.
Yeah, she was. You know? She felt comfortable with him. She's being vulnerable. So for him to like disappear, I don't know if I would be that extreme. Like that was extreme. And I'm sure that's the show, to make the show like interesting. Like, how can we be as extreme as we can to show
she crossed
this
the line
point.
when she went to the house and then went in the house.
And then her silly
and then
self
when she was trying to hack the computer,
his computer, like the
she said he messy, but is he recently messy?
Like Houston is the password. And
then
she tried to type in Issa, like that's
she's like
password.
that could be a sign. But isn't that funny how we always looking for a daggone sign?
Yeah,
with stuff like that. She said that could be a sign like 10 times, and I was like, bro,
no, it's not, girl.
And then when she found out that he had cut somebody else's hair, she was like, so he's alive,
right? Cutting hair, but can't call me back. Lord. But no, that episode was amazing. Shout out to the writers on that end, because we haven't seen that.
So what should she have done?
She should have done what she said she was gonna do, and that's focus on what she was supposed to be doing with her block party. Like, she didn't do any of that. Is what she kind of really got back to it,
because she went to that Lawrence advised her to go
to the entrepreneur summit thing, like the little meeting.
So she did get involved with that, and, you know, she finally started working on her deck or whatever.
That's true. So then, maybe that was like before, because I know at the end of the episode, like her and Lawrence were out eating. Like she found her way back to him.
To go talk to him and thank him for recommending the summit.
So maybe that was at the end, like after she was crazy, and then she came to her senses. Like, okay, focus on what you need to focus on. Which is what she should have been doing anyway. But then she found her way back to Lawrence, and I don't want them to get back together. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, me either. And I felt like her reaching out to Lawrence was because she couldn't get in contact with him. So I felt like she just needed, or she wanted some attention.
She needed somebody. Yeah.
And I just feel like... Because it was bothering her so bad that she was having like nightmares about her teeth.
Losing her teeth.
She still hadn't unpacked nothing. Like, girl, you got a whole bunch of stuff that you could be doing right now.
Her apartment was funny. I'm like, yeah, she do got boxes, but listen.
Says the girl who still got boxes.
I was just about to say that. Like,
you still got boxes too? Girl, me too. Okay. So who's the pot and who's the kettle in this conversation?
That's why I ain't gonna say that, because I still got
that's why I'm
boxes.
like, let me just call it out. I still got boxes. Okay.
Like, I don't plan on unpacking them because I'm trying to move anyway. So
we said, why unpack to repack?
Right. So nope, that stuff can stay in there. I ain't used it all year.
And then she overslept. Like, she wasn't even doing her job. Like, there was a plumber or something that came to the complex, and she didn't even know who her boss was. He was like, she's like, oh my God, who is it? Who is
I
it?
own the place.
He was like, I own this place. She's like, yeah. Be right down.
Yeah, she was completely lost, man. Yeah. And I've been there where you just be so salty, like, dude, like, what is happening?
I think that where she messed up though is when she started to doubt herself. Yeah, and say like, oh, I shouldn't have done this, and I shouldn't have done that, and oh, maybe
putting the blame on her.
Yes,
yeah.
Like, and I think that it turned into her not being good enough for him. You know,
absolutely, that's what it was. Yeah, I totally agree with that, because it's
and she tried to fake slide in his DM.
Oh yeah, we totally glazed over that part. Hilarious. And I was thinking to my friends, like, why don't we have like a fake account? Like, why?
Some of us do. I'll just throw that out there. Some of us do, but I think that some of us would like to think that we're too old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need to do that.
Yes, we do. It's fun.
No, but I'll say I'm not gonna call out any names, but amongst our group, some of us do.
Have to off air. I have to ask about this account because I need parts.
Some of us do. But that was so funny to me. She said, "Who changed the password?" She said,
"Oh, Kelly is funny."
Yeah, 67 or whatever.
Like, I was paranoid.
And of course, it was Kelly. I was like, "Huh."
Oh, so funny.
No, but I think that some of us, I think that my logic is that if you have to create a fake account, you don't need to be talking to this person.
That's true. You have some big insecurities.
If you have to send out fake messages to see what they gonna do to test the water, then you already know what they gonna do, and you're trying to confirm what you already know.
When you go looking,
don't even waste your time. If you ever look for something, it's because you know it's there. It's just like when you look for your keys and you're like, I know that they're in. Mm-hmm. Yes, because you know it's there. That's why you're looking,
and you gonna find what you're looking for.
You gonna find what you're looking for.
So yeah, be careful with that. But it was so
funny to me because she accidentally sent it from her page, and I'm like, yep,
that was fun. Issa's so funny, but hey,
she's still our awkward black girl.
I love her for sure. I love her, man. But that episode was great. I don't really care for how it ended. I know some people are definitely Team Lawrence and they're like, oh, but I'm like, man, don't go back. Just y'all gotta break up. Y'all gotta be done. So I mean, I was excited to see him back on the show. Like, wow, this is interesting. Like an interesting spin. But now it's just like we need to find a way to get him to exit stage left off the show again.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or find him somebody. Like I thought he was gonna work out with the church lady, but he was like, oh no.
I think she was too much church for him.
Yeah, she was a lot of church.
He was like, I'm a new Christian.
Right. I ain't going to church every day.
Right. Like, Bible study.
Right. Said Bible study, youth meeting. Right. Oh no, this is too much. Church on Sunday. Like I'm not going to everything.
And I think he wasn't really feeling pastor.
Oh yeah, that pastor was annoying to me too.
Lasciviousness.
Yeah, so I would have been like, I'm not coming back to this church either.
He was like, yeah. But his friend,
it was hilarious.
What's his friend?
Chad is funny. Trying to give himself to the Lord at the altar call. Like, I've been wrong. Like, sir, you out here.
I've been living foul, man.
Foul. Trying to get him a church boo. So, Lord, I can't take
But Chad needs to be saved, child.
He he needs some hands laid on him for real, because he is all a hot mess. A hot mess.
Funny. He's so wild.
They didn't really show Kelly or Tiffany that whole episode though. It was mostly about
I'm
Issa.
trying to figure out what's going to happen with their friendship with Tiffany and everything. But in any case, I think that's where Issa, if there was anything that I would point out, I think that her feelings were genuine. She was kind of living in the moment with him, and obviously he had not earned her sex at that point, right? So I think that she probably had sex with him too soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you don't even know him.
For sure. But it was dope.
She was like, who does that on a Ferris wheel?
Listen, I was like, wow, like, it's kind of sick. So
see, I would have been up there like, no, it's too many germs up here, and who's to say who else was up here being all nasty?
That's true. But in the spur of the moment, and they was both high, like they had popped Molly up thing, and that's like
that's the other thing. Like, I need to know, like, you doing all type of drugs. You got me doing drugs. Like, this is not a good fit.
Yeah, that would have taken it too far to me. Like, I get we're at Coachella. I mean, I'm not doing Molly. Like, that's taking it too far. But she did. But I thought the Ferris wheel thing was dope. But that's just me and my.
So, what do you think about Molly throwing a fit at the Asian boo?
At dinner?
Yes. What's his name?
I don't know his name. Asian Bae.
Okay.
I don't know his name though.
For when he called her out on sleeping with her friend, with Dro.
I felt like she was
her married friend. Dro.
She was being season 1 Molly. I felt like when she went off on him about it, because it's like, but that's facts. That's what you did,
and she
you
literally
told him
just called him out.
Exactly.
For, what did he do?
He did something.
He slept with his friend's girl or something like that.
And she called him out too, and he took it like just kind-heartedly, like, haha, we going back and forth at each other. But she really got personal about it, because you can tell that she's still salty about it.
I think that she broke her own standards, and she knew that from the beginning, but then she kept engaging, and then she tried to correct it by saying, well, either we do this or we do that. Yeah. Like, either we sleep together and we don't hang out, or we are just friends.
And then she couldn't stick with that.
But here's the thing too. I feel like she also was giving him options.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not what standards are. They're not optional.
Yeah.
Like, she should have just told him what it is, and this is what it is.
And been definitive.
And if you don't like it, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Take
she should have.
Or leave it.
And she didn't. To me, in that whole situation, she was being very much like season 1 Molly.
Yeah.
Like, I need this because I'm just have this low self-esteem. It's just like, girl.
Yeah.
We've been going to therapy, and she didn't. And the thing that she didn't tell her therapist about that, like,
she doesn't talk to her therapist about relationships.
Yeah,
only about work and things that are safe.
So you know that you're doing wrong because you didn't release that to the person that's trying to help you.
Yeah, I think that's hard to explain though. Like, how do you explain to your therapist that you're this woman of great integrity and whatever, but you're sleeping with your friend's husband?
Yeah, I don't know. We have to ask Lakeisha, but I'm sure a therapist will get it out of you and try to work through that some type of way. But yeah, it's just like, you still salty about it. And then to find out that his wife is pregnant, like, you're salty.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that is. She's definitely very salty about that because I think that what happens is that in the moment she settles for it, but then every time he gets up and leaves and goes back to his wife, and he's drawing lines around the wife. He's like, don't worry about what me and my wife do.
Oh, girl, when he said that, I was just like, you know what? We're done
but it's crazy because he's making her abide by his boundaries and his standards.
Yeah. Absolutely. And she is not doing that for him at all. So hopefully in this season finale that we kind of close that to find out, like, was he really in an open relationship? Like, we don't know the answers to that.
Well, I think that he is, because when the wife calls, he'll say, like, I'm with Molly.
But him and Molly were best friends. Like, they were neighbors.
Yeah. Well, why are you with Molly late night and early morning?
They grew up together. So to her, that could probably mean like, oh, it's just Molly. Like, whatever. But he ain't never say, like, I'm spending night with Molly, like, I'm boning her, like, nothing like that. Like, we need
babe,
to know.
Could you pick up some condoms for me and Molly?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, we need to know for sure if he was really in an open relationship, because I don't think he was.
Yeah, I think, but either way it goes, I think that even if that's his standard, that certainly was not Molly's standard. She wants a traditional marriage her and like her parents or whatever. And I think that in the moment she settles for it because it feels like a relationship, but then every time he gets up and leaves and she sees that he's committed to his wife. And now they're expanding and building a family, she's just like, that's something that I'm never gonna have with him. So then in that moment she gets all upset and she wants to react.
And
but
she definitely reacted negatively.
She put herself
in that situation. She always does. That was season 1 Molly. Like, you did this to yourself. But hopefully she can work it through with Asian Bae. He seems like a good dude, so maybe there will be a love connection for those two in the next season. What are we on, season 5 coming up? So yeah,
I posted something on our page the other day. It says you can't talk your way out of a problem you behaved yourself into.
Ooh, facts.
I feel like that's what she did.
Yeah, that's facts, and that's certainly the truth. Like, you can't.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that was a nice long segue about Insecure. With that episode was great. Episode 7, Obsessed Like. So if you have HBO or the HBO Now app or Fire Stick or however you watch it, definitely watch episode 7. It was dope.
Yes, it certainly was, and it definitely tied in very nicely to getting the guy. So yes. So some of the other things that he talks about is first dates, but I feel like we kind of covered that as well. So So yeah, one of the things though that he mentioned that I thought was so funny, he was like, yeah, for a first date, go visit the new Harley dealer that's local.
Yeah,
and I was like, hey.
And when he said that, I was like, I know Sherry was like, woo. But no, you definitely, those out of box type of first dates are tight. So
yes, definitely.
Shout out to Harley.
Shout out to HD.
Hey.
Yes. But yeah, get the guy.
This is a fantastic book. So shout out to Matthew Hussey. It was just really insightful, and we had fun talking about it. This was really great. So
yeah. One more thing that he talks about that we didn't discuss was the friend trap.
Girl, friend zone.
Yes. Do you feel like you ever been put in a friend zone?
Have I been in the friend zone?
Yeah.
I don't think I have been put in the friend zone. No, I don't think so. If I have been, I don't know, but have I put guys in the friend zone? For sure.
Yeah, or do you ever feel like you were interested in a guy and he was like he called you bro or something stupid?
I would be sad.
Or he was like, "Oh, that's my sister," or like something like that.
Never happened to me. Yeah, never. No, but have I done that to dudes? For sure. Like, oh no, I need you to recognize that.
So how do you let them know? Like, what do you do?
For the most part, I feel like I tell them, like, like, I think you're really nice, but I just don't like you like that. Like, I try to be as upfront as I can be to tell them, like, I don't like you like that. But they don't listen, because most guys think that they can change your mind. Like, I'm gonna show her. And I'll be like, no, you gotta stay in the friend zone, bro. Like, stop trying to escape.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
That's not what you want. So then I reiterate, like, you know what? I think you're great. However, this is not what I want to do right now. And yeah, definitely have to put them back. So I've put people in the friend zone, but I don't know if I've ever been friend zoned myself. And if I have, I don't know. And I probably wouldn't care, because, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he talks about the friend trap and how basically you have a deep connection with somebody, but there's no sexual chemistry. So that's what's missing. And he was just talking about a couple of things to do if you find yourself in the friend zone. Is sometimes he said that it's good to kind of go away for a little bit and then come back and kind of like reinvent yourself so they can see you with different eyes. And he says be more feminine and more ladylike. Like, if you have to go to the restroom, don't say like, "Oh, I gotta go pee." Be like, "I have to go to the ladies' room."
That's what, because saying it like that makes it too informal. Like, you just don't care,
right?
Like,
but that's what some girls do.
True, that's true.
Yeah. So, and then he also said that, like, sometimes when he says stuff, you could say things like, "Oh, it would never work in, between us. You're too this or you're too that." And so what it does is that presents a challenge, because then first of all, he'll start to think about you like that. And then it's like, I'm not too whatever you said I was, right? Like, now I got to prove to be something else.
And I feel like that's what happens in my case. Like, I'm trying to tell you, it's not what I want.
But if you do that, then you're presenting more of a challenge, is what he said.
I've been going about it all wrong.
All wrong.
And I thought I was being nice. Like, I'm just going to be upfront and tell them, like, this is not what I want. But they be like, I'm going to change your mind. And no, you're not going to.
Yeah. And then he also said, and you got to have boundaries. So there's certain privileges that bae gets that friends don't.
Ooh, for sure. Yeah, I'm not that friends with benefits stuff. That'll never work. Like,
yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, that's what Molly doing.
That's absolutely what Molly is doing.
But
and that's why she's salty. Exactly. That's why she a hot mess. So that never works at all. So don't think you can have your friend, your homie. Like, if I call a dude bro, like Daryl, for instance, that's my bro. Love him dearly like a brother. Do I ever want to be with him? No. It's gross. Like, if I'm calling a dude bro, like, I really mean, like, I love you like a brother. There's nothing else. I know some dudes who be like, yeah, she calling him bro, but she be having sex with him. Nope, not me. You my brother, and that's disgusting, because you're really bro. And I feel like that with my frat brother. So I'm in a sorority, and we are constitutionally bound to a fraternity. And I look at them sometimes, like, some of them, don't get me wrong, because my last boo was a Sigma.
I was like, some incest was going on somewhere.
But some of them who I, like, came up with and I've known them forever, like Desmond, like, he's my frat brother, and he's really like a brother. Like, I only see him in that light. Like, you're really like a brother to me. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, but if you a Sigma on the East Coast, y'all kind of cute. I'm just kidding.
That's also the East Coast Sigmas.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Do pick the coast.
Hey, on the East Coast.
And the Midwestern Sigmas and the West Coast Sigmas.
Well, shout out to Keith Good News, our West Coast Sigmas. But not Great Lakes, though.
we gonna go through every region now. That's what we doing. We about to call out all the regions.
Hey, just say.
Now people trying to get a map. So Great Lakes around Michigan, like where's the Great Lakes?
We get a lot of hate mail from our Greek family. No, I'm just kidding. Gosh. I'm just playing, y'all. But
she lying too. She is so lying.
My fingers are crossed.
behind her back.
Yes.
I can't. I can't and I won't.
Hilarious. Okay.
What goes in the to-go box? What are the takeaways?
It was a lot. This was a great 4 episodes that
Series
about. This was a good little series though. But it definitely, like I said before, like opened up my eyes to what dating can be if we just focus on communication and being able to communicate effectively. And that's something I'm still working on. So I'm glad I was able to read this book, because I tend to hold a lot of stuff in. Like I won't really say how I'm feeling. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm sad, or I'm happy, or I'm this, but I won't like go too deep into why I feel that way and being able to effectively communicate. So this book told me that that's what I need to do. And that's perfect. I think a lot of relationship books and advice kind of tells you what you need to do to actually get somebody, but they don't tell you what you need to do to fix you, because that's what you should do. And I think Matthew Hussey did a good job in doing that. Excuse me. Jeez.
Yes. And my takeaway is that you're already high value, but you need to have others perceive you as high value. So a lot of times we think that our value comes from other things, like, oh, I have this education, or I have this and I have that. And now I feel like I'm contradicting myself, because earlier I said that when I was in college, I dated a guy who I thought
had all that stuff.
And then when he didn't, I was
trash.
like,
right. I said, you're trash.
But hey, he also didn't have good character. Right. So how about that?
There we go. And that's number one.
You know what? Maybe if he had good character, maybe I wouldn't have cared.
He would have looked
past
all
he didn't have all those other things.
Yeah.
Right.
But hey, his fault.
His fault.
There you go.
So yes. But yes, we really need to make sure that others know our worth. And again, it's not about the money that we have or how we dress or anything like that, but it's really our character, and we need to be treated with the utmost respect and stop settling for less. Like if people ain't gonna respect you, let them free.
And that's with in anything, relationships,
set them free.
Work,
friends,
whoever,
just set them free.
Like, just go on about
they
your
just
business.
not for you,
for real. And that's okay. Life is short out here, so be happy and make sure you're being valued to the highest extent.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in to Brunch with Besties podcast. Until next time,
peace. Thanks, guys, for listening to Brunch with Besties podcast. Be sure to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, now YouTube, and Google Play. Basically, we airware. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review and rate us. We would so appreciate that. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to find us on Twitter. Our handle is BrunchWBesties. On IG, you can find us at Brunch with Besties Podcast. And if you'd like, you can shoot us an email. Our Gmail is brunchwithbestiespodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Peace.